The hidden cost of living only inside yourself. In the previous reflection, we explored the idea that human beings were never meant to carry life entirely alone. But if that is true, then why does modern life increasingly push people into exactly that kind of existence? Why do so many people today feel mentally crowded, emotionally restless, and strangely disconnected, even while constantly surrounded by stimulation and communication? Maybe the answer is not only personal. Maybe modern life itself slowly trains people to become more self-contained. Human beings today spend an enormous amount of life inside the mind. Planning, thinking, comparing, reacting, explaining, and consuming information constantly. Even rest often becomes another form of mental activity. People scroll to relax, watch content to escape, stay stimulated to avoid silence. And over time, life slowly shifts from living in reality to mainly processing reality mentally. And maybe that is why many people now feel tired, even after doing very little physically. That creates a strange kind of exhaustion. Because the human nervous system was not designed for endless internal activity without grounding. Modern culture also encourages people to become highly self-referential. My goals, my image, my success, my opinions, my identity, my feelings, my personal brand. Of course, self-awareness matters. But when human attention circles the self constantly, the mind slowly becomes crowded with itself. And this changes how people experience the world. Other human beings stop feeling like grounding presence, wisdom, community, emotional refuge. And instead slowly become comparison, validation, networking, usefulness, or audience. That is one reason many relationships today feel emotionally thin. People are surrounded by interaction, but receive far less emotional grounding. Human beings once experienced far more natural pauses. Walking, silence, waiting, evenings without endless stimulation. Now many people experience uninterrupted input almost all day. Notifications, videos, scrolling, music, messages, opinions, news, algorithms. And at first, constant stimulation feels engaging. The mind feels occupied, distracted, entertained, almost comforted. But after some time, the nervous system struggles to settle. This is why many people now feel restless in silence, uncomfortable alone with thoughts, mentally fatigued, emotionally reactive, and unable to feel fully present. The mind rarely stops moving long enough to recover. Another change is that many human interactions became increasingly functional. People communicate constantly, but often without deep emotional presence. Many relationships now revolve around convenience, productivity, entertainment, validation, temporary emotional relief. But fewer relationships feel deeply rooted. Fewer people feel emotionally seen, guided, grounded, and patiently understood. And this affects human beings more deeply than people realize. Because emotionally healthy human life usually develops through stable relationships, care, guidance, shared meaning, trust, and feeling connected to something beyond personal isolation. Modern life also glorifies extreme independence. People are often taught: depend only on yourself, heal yourself alone, trust nobody, and carry your own life entirely. And while independence has value, complete psychological self-containment slowly becomes heavy. Because in reality, human beings are already deeply dependent on countless people. Someone gave us birth. Someone raised us. Someone taught us language. Someone grows food. Someone builds homes. Someone keeps society functioning quietly every day. Human life is interconnected at every level. Yet psychologically, many people increasingly experience life as isolated individuals carrying private mental worlds alone. But many people psychologically live as though they must carry existence completely alone. That creates emotional pressure the human mind was never designed to hold continuously. When human life becomes too self-contained for too long, several things slowly increase. Overthinking, loneliness, emotional fragility, mental exhaustion, restlessness, comparison, meaninglessness, difficulty trusting, difficulty slowing down. And sometimes, people become surrounded by stimulation while quietly starving for grounding. This is why many people today feel busy but emotionally empty, connected but lonely, informed but internally unstable. And sometimes people do not even realize what is missing. They only feel restless, heavy, or quietly disconnected from life itself. The human mind keeps moving, but the deeper parts of life slowly weaken. Maybe this is why so many older human practices once mattered more deeply than modern people often realize. Silence, community, blessings, shared meals, nature, prayer, meaningful relationships, gratitude, reverence. Not because human beings in the past were perfect, but because many of those things helped people remain emotionally grounded outside the constant noise of the isolated mind. And perhaps that is what many modern people are quietly searching for again, without fully realizing it. If modern life slowly pulls human beings toward emotional fragmentation and self-contained living, then how do people slowly regain balance again? How do human beings reconnect with grounding, stillness, meaningful relationships, gratitude, and emotional stability, without escaping modern life completely? We will slowly explore that next.